Hey there, let me tell you about the cool movie called Butcher's Crossing. So there's this guy named Will, and he's super interested in American history. He decides to visit a small village in 1874 called Butcher's Crossing, where they do this big buffalo skin business. Will meets a big-shot buffalo skin dealer and tells him he's the son of an old friend. The dealer gets all happy and stuff. Will explains he's not looking for a job, he just wants to understand how buffalo hunting works. The dealer is surprised but warns Will that it's not an easy job. Undeterred, Will goes to a bar and meets Miller, a tough buffalo hunter. Will wants to join the hunt, and Miller, figuring out Will's passion, agrees. They plan to go to a mountainous area with lots of wild buffalo. Will agrees to spend $600 on the trip, and Miller thinks they'll make big bucks when they return. Later at the bar, Will gets weird attention and decides to leave. The next day, Miller introduces Will to his buddies, Skinner and a cook. Skinner warns about the dangers of the mountainous area, but agrees to join for $60 without any share of the profits. Will and Miller happily agree, and that's how their wild adventure begins. So, on that same day in the afternoon, our gang of four, Will, Miller, Skinner, and the cook, set off for their hunting adventure. Miller, being the savvy guide, led the way. Along the journey, they took breaks to hunt, and the cook whipped up some grub to satisfy their hunger. The next day, as they continued their journey, Skinner started thinking that maybe Miller was forgetting the way. Still, they kept following. After many days, they stumbled upon a house. When they entered, they were freaked out to find a dead body inside. Spooky, right? In the desert, a woman on a horse carriage approached them, seeking help. Miller, being gruff, told her to scram. Will, being the nice guy, wanted to help, but Miller was having none of it. The woman even pulled out a gun, but Miller disarmed her and warned her to leave or face the consequence. Skinner later explained that such women might be thieves, and Miller seemed lost, unsure of the way. Skinner had to break it to him that they might be off course. Miller insisted he knew where they were going, but Skinner dropped the bomb that they were out of water and facing some serious trouble ahead. They trudged on, and the situation got dire due to thirst. Will, feeling weak, nearly fell into a pond. Miller rushed to his side, urging him to hang in there. They managed to quench their thirst and continued their journey, pushing their stuff uphill to reach the mountainous area. Finally, Miller declared they had arrived at the right spot. Hooray! They were all super stoked to have reached their destination. So, our gang reaches this place where there are thousands of buffalo, but they decide to take a breather before going on the hunt the next day. Miller, being the hunter expert, suggests they get ready after a little rest. Skinner turns to Will and asks, "How are you feeling about being here?" Will, with a grin, says, "Everything is great," and he's excited about the hunt. Then, curious, he turns to Miller and asks why he loves hunting when it doesn't always guarantee money and could even lead to losses. But Miller doesn't spill the beans just yet. The next day, Miller starts prepping his bullets with gunpowder and poison for the buffalo hunt. Will, super interested, checks it out. Miller explains that hunting buffaloes is tough, and the preparation is just the start. The danger is part of the thrill, and that's why he loves it. They reach a spot with tons of buffaloes, and Miller takes a shot. Will thinks he missed, but Miller confidently says he never missed. However, the poison hits Will, making him pass out. Miller continues hunting, marking buffaloes for skinning. Will, once recovered, joins in the hunt, having a blast. Skinner starts skinning the buffaloes, teaching Will the ropes. Time passes, and they live off buffalo meat while collecting skin. Will notices something strange when Cook is preparing food for Skinner but shrugs it off. Nighttime discussions bring up the idea of leaving, but Miller is adamant about continuing the hunt. Skinner's health takes a nosedive, and the next day, Will experiences pain and bleeding after his first solo hunt. Still, they keep hunting and skinning buffalo. When Skinner suggests leaving, Miller gets furious, threatening to kill him if they don't stick around. Days pass, and Miller goes on a buffalo hunting spree, while Skinner's health worsens due to mysterious additions to his food. Will starts getting suspicious, especially when he notices Miller and the bar owner conspiring together. So, our friends have been hanging out in the snowy wilderness for 3 weeks now. At night, Skinner suggests they should have only stayed for a week, and it's time to head back to Butcher's Crossing before winter hits. Miller, however, isn't having it. He insists they're not leaving until the buffalo hunt is done. The next day, Miller resumes his hunting spree, leaving a bunch of buffalo bodies scattered around. Feeling the winter chill, Willow suggests they should pack up and leave. Miller, stubborn as ever, refuses to budge until the buffalo hunt is complete. A little later, Miller spots a herd of buffaloes and goes all out on the hunt, firing bullets from a distance. The buffaloes scatter, causing Miller to lose his cool. Willow's worried about Miller's obsession with hunting. Suddenly, winter hits, and a snowstorm rolls in. They start packing up, but Willow's health takes a hit from the cold. Miller, undeterred, covers him with buffalo skin. When the storm finally clears, Miller insists they can't leave until the cold is completely gone. Willow suggests they try to walk slowly, But Miller is certain another storm will hit if they move. Days pass, and Miller keeps hunting while Willow's health worsens. One night, Willow hallucinates seeing a buffalo that wasn't really there, a sign that the tough journey is messing with his mind. Skinner, feeling unwell, urges Miller to prepare to leave. But Miller insists on waiting until the cold is entirely gone. Skinner, frustrated, eventually finds the medicine that's been making him sick. So, after eating that medicine, Skinner's stomach started acting up. Upset about it, Skinner brings the medicine to the cook, showing him what was causing the trouble. The cook realizes he's been mixing it into Skinner's food and apologizes. But oh boy, Skinner, who's really mad, starts beating up the cook. Unfortunately, the beating is so harsh that the cook's condition worsens and he passes away. Miller and Willow, shocked by what they see, are told by Skinner that he did it to defend himself because the cook tried to harm him with that medicine. Now they have to bury the cook, and the next morning they sadly lay him to rest, missing him. Once winter fades and the next season begins, they load up their cars with buffalo skins and start moving forward. Maneuvering those heavy skins on and off the cars is tricky, but they push through. Crossing a mountain, they face a challenge, and one of their horses breaks away, causing the cars filled with skins to tumble into a valley. Sadly, Skinner doesn't make it through this incident. Feeling the loss, they continue their journey on horses and finally reach their village, Butcher's Cross. Surprise! Surprise! The village is empty. They head to the dealer's house, asking him what happened. The dealer is shocked to see them alive, thinking they might not have made it. Miller, proud of their buffalo skin haul, tells the dealer about their big catch. But, oh dear, the dealer bursts their bubble. He laughs and explains that the demand for buffalo skin has dropped, making the whole business go downhill in the village. Tough break. People in Butcher's Crossing faced a lot of losses, and the dealer decided to pack up and leave to find a better job. Miller was super disappointed and angry about the buffalo skin business going downhill. The dealer pointed out that Miller had achieved the goal of his journey, finding what he was looking for. Later, while reflecting on his journey, Miller heard shouts outside. Turns out, he set the dealer's house on fire. When the dealer came out, Miller hit him on the head, but he quickly dashed away when he spotted Will. The next day, Will continued his journey to explore more about America, which was his mission all along. The story goes on to mention that Will headed to America to find his sister, but people hunted so many buffaloes that only 300 were left. Yep, a bunch of buffaloes got hunted, and that's how our film story wraps up.